Thank God.
You are a pair of lucky parents. I can tell you now, I thought she wouldn't.
Nonsense! The child is a Keller. She has the constitution of a goat. Rob of us all.
Yes, especially if some of you Kellers don't get a night's sleep. I mean you, Mrs. Keller.
You hear, Katie?
I hear.
I've known of two of them, but this is my wife's first. She isn't, battle scarred yet.
Doctor, don't be merely considerate. Is my girl all right?
By morning, she'll be knocking down Captain Keller's fences again.
And isn't there anything we should do?
Put up stronger fencing, huh?
Just let her get well. She knows how to do it better than we do. Main thing is the fever's gone. These things come and go in infants, but you never know why. We call it acute congestion of the stomach and brain.
I'll show you to your buggy, doctor.
I've never seen a baby with more vitality. That's the truth.
Hush. Don't you cry now. In trouble enough. Call it acute congestion indeed. See what's so cute about it? It's because it's yours. We'll have your father run an editorial in his paper. The wonders of modern medicine. They don't know what they're curing even when they cure it. Men. Men in their battle scars. We women will have to... We'll have to... Helen? Helen? Captain? Captain, will you come? Captain?
Katie, what's wrong?
She can't see.
Well, she's well.
You look at her eyes, she can't see.
Helen.
Or here. When I screamed, she didn't blink. Not an eyelash.
Helen. Helen.
She can't hear you.
Helen!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hatboro Horsham Theater Department's production of the American classic The Miracle Worker by William Gibson. Set in 1887 in Tuscumbia, Alabama, the play explores the heroic struggle of Helen Keller, who became blind and deaf as a child, to connect with the hearing and seeing world. And since it's 1887 and your phone has not been invented yet, please refrain from pretending you're taking flash pictures, as it is very disturbing to the actors and those around you and can be dangerous. And please turn those phones off. Inadvertently, there were two names left out of the program. They are the very important color design technicians, Jessica Dwan and Annie Park. There will be a 20-minute intermission between Acts 1 and 2, and a 10-minute intermission between Acts 2 and 3. So please join the Hatboro Horsham Theater Department's presentation of The Miracle Worker.
First, I'm going to cut off this doctor's legs. 1. Shoot. Now then, I think... gonna cut off his arms. 1, 2, stop that.
Cut off his stomach. Now that'll be a good operation.
No, I'm gonna cut off his head first. He
Ain't
got
gonna be
that.
much that doctor left to fix up. Time you finish all their...
What'd you do, bite her hand?
That's what I did. She keeps sticking her fingers in my mouth. I just bite them off.
What's she trying to do now?
She's trying to talk. She's gonna get mad. Look at her trying to talk.
Hey, stop it. Just stay quiet. Stay.
Helen, give me the scissors.
Tony dug Martha's eyes out. Almost done. It's always almost. No point in worrying until it actually happens, is there?
How does she stand it? Why haven't you seen this Baltimore man yet? It's not something you can let go on and on like the weather.
The weather here doesn't ask permission to be on it. Speak to my father.
Arthur, something ought to be done for that child.
A refreshing suggestion. What?
Why, that very famous oculist in Baltimore I wrote you about. What was his name?
Dr. Chisholm.
Yes. There are many cases of blindness people thought couldn't be cured, and he's cured them. Just works wonders. Why don't you write to him?
I've stopped believing in wonders.
I think the captain will write to him soon. Won't you, Captain?
No.
Good money after bad, or bad after good. Or bad after bad.
Well, if it's just a matter of money, Arthur, now you're Marshall. You have this
It's not money. She's been to specialists all over Alabama and Tennessee. And if I thought it would be good for her, I'd have it every fool doctor in the country.
I think the captain will write to him soon.
Katie, how many times have you let them break your heart?
Any number of times. What child? As long as there's the least chance for her to see or
Well,
hear.
there isn't. I must finish here.
I think with your permission, Captain, I'd like to write.
I said no, Katie.
My writing does no harm, Arthur. Only a little bitty letter. To see if you can help
He
me.
cannot.
We won't know that to be fact, Captain, until after you write.
Katie, he can't.
Father stands up, that makes it a fact.
You be quiet. I am badgered here enough by females without your impudence. Katie. No, I might as well try and work in a hen yards in this house.
You really ought to put her away, Father.
What?
Some asylum. It's the kindest thing.
Why, she's your sister, James, not some nobody.
Half-sister. And half mentally defective. She can't even keep herself clean. It's not pleasant to see her around all the time.
Do you dare? Complain of what you can see.
This discussion is at an end. I will thank you not to broach it again, Ev. I cannot give my whole life to it. The house is at 6s and 7s from morning till night over this child. It's time some attention was paid to Mildred here instead.
You'll wake her up, Captain.
Well, I want some peace in this house. I don't care how. One way we will not have it is by marching up and down the countryside every time someone hears of a new quack. I am as sensible to this affliction as anyone else. It hurts me to look at this girl.
It was not our affliction I meant you to write about, Captain. Eyes? She wants the doll to have eyes. My goodness me, you're not decent. She doesn't know any better on them. I'll sew them on.
She'll never learn. With everyone letting her do whatever she takes.
Quiet.
What did I say now?
You talk too much.
I was agreeing.
Whatever it was. The deprived child, the least she can have, the little things that she wants.
It's worth a couple of buttons, Kate. Look. That child has more sense in her than all of these men killers. If there's ever any way we do not
Katie.
How can I make you understand? How can I get inside that head?
Some way of teaching her an iota of discipline must be addressed.
How can you discipline an afflicted child? Is it her fault?
I did not say it was her fault.
Then whose? I don't know what to do. How can I teach her? Beat her until she's black and blue?
There must be some way of finding her, some way, some
How? In a cage? She's a growing child. She has to use her limbs.
Well, answer me one thing. Is it fair to Mildred here?
Are you willing to put her away?
Oh, what?
She wants to talk. To be like you and me. Every day, she slips further away. And I don't know how to pull her back.
You know, I have a mind to take her up there myself. If that doctor can't help her, maybe he'll know someone who can.
All right, demand, Katie.
You could do nothing for the girl, of course. It was Dr. Bell thought she might somehow be taught. However, the family only had a suitable governess. Miss Annie Sullivan has been found here and also in the pond. It will no doubt be difficult for you, dear Annie. But it has been difficult for you at our school, too. Rat time, yes, when you came to us. Cannot spell your name. To accomplish so much here in a few years, but always in Irish battle for independence. This will be my last time to counsel you, Annie. And you do lack some. By some, I mean all, but tact or talent event. And what has saved you, the more on one occasion here at Perkins, is that there was nowhere to expel you to. Your eyes hurt?
My ears, Mr. Nance.
Nowhere but back to Tewksbury. Your children learn to be saucy. Annie, I know how dreadful it was there, but that battle is dead and done with. Why not let it stay buried?
Thank God it's only a resurrection.
What?
Well, he keeps digging up that battle.
That is not a proper thing to say, Annie. It is what I mean.
Yes, but I know what I'm like. What's this child like?
Like,
Well, bright or dull to start off.
no one knows. And if she is dull, you'll have no patience with this?
Oh, grown-ups, you have to, Mr. Magnus. I mean, in children it just seems a little precocious. Can I use that word?
Only if you can spell it.
Premature. So I hope at least she's a bright one.
Deaf, blind, mute, who knows? She's like a little safe lock that no one can open. Perhaps there's a treasure inside.
Maybe it's empty, too.
Possible. She will warn you she's given much to tantrums.
Means something's inside. Well, so am I if I believe all I hear. Maybe you should warn Ben.
Annie, I wrote them no word of your history. You'll find yourself among strangers who know nothing of it.
Keep them in a state of blessed ignorance.
Perhaps you should tell it,
Why? I have enough trouble with people who don't know.
so they will understand when you have trouble.
The only time I have trouble is when I'm right. Is it my fault that it's so often? Don't worry, Mr. Magnus. I'll be so ladylike they won't even notice I've come.
Andy, be humble. It's not as if you have so many offers to pick and choose. You will need their affection in working with this child.
I hope I won't need their pity.
We could all use some pity. So, you're no longer a pupil. We've thrown you into the world a teacher, if the child can be taught. No one expects you to work miracles even for $25 a month. Now, in this envelope, bill for the railroad, which you will repay me when you have a bank account. But in this box, a gift with our love. I think other friends are ready to say goodbye.
Dear Mr. Magnus, well, what should I say? I'm an ignorant, opinionated girl, and everything I am I owe to you.
That is only half true, Annie.
Oh, which half? I crawled here like a drowned rat. I thought I'd died when Jimmy died, that I'd never again come alive. Well, you say with love so easy, and I haven't loved a soul since, and I never will, I suppose. But this place gave me more than my eyesight back. But taught me how to spell, which I'll never learn anyway. But with all the fights and trouble I've been in here, it taught me what help is. And how to live again. I don't want to say goodbye. Don't open the door. Cry.
They will not see.
Here, Beatrice.
There's a present. We bought you a going away present, Annie.
Oh, no, you shouldn't have.
We did. Where's the present?
Don't go. Annie, away. Alice has it. Alice? Where's Alice?
Here I am.
Where?
Here.
I have it, everybody. Should I open it?
Open it. Everyone be quiet.
Do, Annie. She's opening it.
Shh. Is it open, Annie?
It's open.
It's for your eyes, Annie. Put them on, Annie.
Mrs. Hopkins says your eyes hurt since the operation. And she said you're going where the sun is fierce.
I'm putting them on now.
Don't go, Annie. The sun is fierce. Do they fit all right?
They fit just fine.
Did you put them on?
Are they pretty, Annie?
My eyes feel hundreds of % better and pretty. You know how I look in them, splendidly, like a racehorse.
There's another present. Beatrice.
We have a present for Helen, too.
Here, Annie.
It's for Helen, and we took up a collection to buy. And Laura dressed it.
Oh, it's beautiful. So don't forget.
You be sure to give it to Helen from us, Annie.
It'll be the first thing I give her, I promise. That is, if I don't keep it for myself. You know I can't be trusted with dolls.
Don't go, Annie. To her.
Sarah, dear, I don't want to go.
Then why are you going?
Because I'm a big girl now, and big girls have to earn a living, and it's the only way I can. But if you don't smile for me first, we'll have to do it.
What?
Put you in my suitcase instead of this doll and take you to Helen in Alabama.
Come, children. We must get the trunk into the carriage, and Annie onto her train, or no one will go to Alabama. Where are we going, Annie?
Jimmy,
Where are we going?
I said I'm taking care of you.
Forever and ever?
Annie Sullivan, age 9, virtually blind. James Sullivan, age 7. What's the matter with your legs, honey?
Forever and ever.
Can't you walk without that crutch? Girl goes to the women's ward, boy to the men's.
Annie! Annie, don't let them take me! Annie! Annie! Annie!
I'm coming!
Let Mr. Jimmy go by himself. You've been poking around that garden all day. You should rest your feet. I can't wait to see her, Viney. Maybe she isn't going to be on this train yet. And maybe she is. Maybe she isn't. And maybe she is. Where's Helen? She's upstairs, smelling around. She knows something funny is going on around her. Let her have supper as soon as Bill gets to sleep. Tell Captain Keller when you see him that we'll be delayed tonight. Again? I don't think we have to say again. Simply delayed will do. Well, that's what he's going to say. What? Again? Yes. I'm expecting someone. Someone for my Helen. This was clean not an hour ago. Here. For a while I'm gone. Did one Helen travel smoothly with supper?
Jimmy,
Sir.
you do not look dressed for anything useful, boy.
And now, it's for Miss Sullivan.
You keep holding up the cord or wooden posts for that. Now, I asked you to see that those strawberry plants were moved this evening.
I'm moving your Mrs. Keller instead to the station.
Mrs. Keller, must you always speak of her as if you haven't met the lady?
Mother! I said mother.
Jean, my dear.
We're off to meet the train again. Supper will be a trifle delayed tonight.
Oh, what again?
Your permission, Captain?
What do you want, honey? Your mother? I guess one little cookie isn't going to ruin your appetite.
She's gone. She's gone. My son and I do not get along. You don't know I'm your father. No one likes me. The supper's delayed. Oh, brought you some stick candy from town. One nibble of sweets isn't going to do you any harm.
Captain Keller, now how am I going to get her to eat her supper if you keep filling her up with that trash?
Tend to your work!
Miss Sullivan?
Oh, here! At last I've been on train so many days I
I'm
thought
James Keller.
James. Oh, I had a brother, Jimmy. Are you Helen's?
Half brother. You're to be her governess?
We'll try.
You look like half governess. This is Keller. Miss Sullivan.
We've met every train for the past 2
I
days.
change trains every time we stop. The man who gave me that ticket ought to be tied to the track.
You have a trunk, miss?
Yes. You didn't bring Helen, I was hoping you would.
No, she's home.
You live far from town, Mrs. Keller?
Only a mile.
Well, I suppose I can wait one more mile, but don't be surprised if I get out to push the horse.
Yes, Helen's expecting you too. There's been such a bustle at the house, heaven knows what. I expected a desiccated spinster. You're awfully young.
You should have seen me before I left Boston. I got much older on this trip.
I mean, to teach someone as difficult as Helen.
I mean to try, but can't put you in jail for trying.
Is it possible even to teach a deaf-blind child half of what an ordinary child learns?
Half?
A tenth.
No. An ordinary child? No, none. Although I did think when I was reading over Dr. Howe's reports that never to treat them like ordinary children, more like eggs. Everyone was afraid it would break.
May I ask how old you are?
Well, I'm not in my teens, you know, I'm 20.
20.
Mrs. Keller, don't lose heart just because I'm not on my last of legs. I have 3 big advantages over Dr. Howe that money couldn't buy for you. One is his work behind me. I've read every word he's ever wrote, and he wouldn't exactly say he's a man of few words. And another is to be young. Why, I've got energy to do anything, and the third is I've been blind.
Advantages.
Well, some of the luck of the Irish and some do not.
What will you teach Helen first?
Well, first, last, and in between. Language.
Language.
Language is to the mind what the light is to the eye. Dr. Howe said that.
Language. We can't get through to her to sit still. You're young despite your years to have such confidence. Do you inside?
No. To tell you the truth, I'm shaky inside as a baby's rabbit.
Don't we? We'll do all we can to make you feel at home. Don't think of us as strangers, Miss Annie.
Oh, strangers aren't so strange to me. I've known them all my life.
Captain? Captain, they came! They sure enough came, Captain.
Welcome to Ivy Green. Miss Sullivan, I take it you are Miss Sullivan.
Miss Annie, this is my husband, Captain Kelly.
Oh, Captain, how do you do?
I trust you had an agreeable journey.
Oh, I have several. When did this country get so big?
Where would you like the trunk, Father?
Well, somewhere where Miss Annie can get to it, I'd imagine.
Yes, please. Where's Helen?
In the hall.
We've put you in the corner room, Miss Annie. If you feel any breeze at all, if it starts...
And the suitcase.
Oh, I'll take that.
Well, I have to, not worry.
Oh, I'd like it.
Oh, you'll find out myself. If you all
I will have it.
flowers.
I have something inside it for Helen. Thank you. Now, when do I see her?
There. There's Helen.
Katie. She's very rough, Katie.
I like her, Captain.
They certainly rear a peculiar kind of young woman in the north, don't they? How old is she?
Oh. She's not in her teens, you know.
She's only a child. What are her parents like shipping her off this far alone?
I couldn't learn her. She's very close to mouth about some things.
And why does she wear those glasses? I like to see a person's eyes when I speak to them.
For the sun. She was blind.
Blind.
She's had 9 operations on her eyes. One just before she
Blind, good heavens. What do they expect one blind child to teach another? Has she experienced at least how long did she teach them?
She was a pupil.
Katie, this is her first position.
Well, she was valedictorian of the school.
Here's a house full of grown-ups, can't cope with the child, and now they expect some half-blind, Yankee schoolgirl to manage her.
You know, great improvement. Now we have 2 of them to look after.
You look after those strawberry plants.
Nothing I say is right.
Why say anything? Supper will be ready right away, Captain.
After all I've been through, and that's what I look like. Oh no, not the jewels! All right, Miss O'Sullivan. Let's begin with doll. Doll. D-O-L-L.
You spell pretty well. Finding out she's ticklish? She is. Is it a game?
An alphabet.
Alphabet?
For the deaf. Oh, look how bright she is.
You think she has any idea what she's doing? She'll mimic anything. She's a monkey.
Yes, well, she's a bright little monkey, all right.
She wants the doll.
Oh, but she can spell it.
Spell? She doesn't even know everything has a name.
Oh, of course not. Who expects her to know now? All I want is for her fingers to learn the
It
letters.
won't mean anything to her. Doesn't like that alphabet of yours, Miss Sullivan. You invented yourself.
Spanish monks under vow of silence, which I wish you would take. Cake from Washington. Best I can do. C-A-K-E. Cake. Do what my fingers do, never mind what it means. Good. Get down that fast now. Maybe I'll steal that one later. Now. D-O-L-L. Doll. Think it over. L. Imitate now, understand later. And of the first... Helen! Has no one taught you any manners of... Helen! Helen! Helen, let me out!
Buffalo girl, are you coming out tonight? Coming out tonight, coming out tonight. Buffalo girl, are you coming out tonight?
Don't worry, you're not lost, only out of place. And toothless, it hurts.
It hurts. Annie, it hurts.
Keep that crap. Shut up. Can't you, girlie? How's somebody to get me sleep in this damn ward?
It hurts. It hurts.
Shut up, you.
Annie, when are we going home? You promised.
Jimmy?
Forever and ever. You said forever. Annie? Annie, you there? Annie hurts.
Gravity's falling.
Annie! Little girl, I must tell you. Your brother will be going on edge.
Supper's ready, Jimmy. Will you call your father?
Certainly. Father, supper. Dinner.
Eating shot, I've been moving my heels for an hour. Sit down. Viney!
Yes, Captain? Right here. Mildred had a good sleep?
Oh, yes, that baby's an angel.
And Helen had a good supper?
Well, I don't know, Miss Kate. Somehow she didn't have much of an appetite tonight.
Well, I couldn't say the same for my part. I am famished. Katie, your plate.
Where's Miss Annie?
In her room.
In a room. Doesn't she know hot food must be eaten hot? Go fetch her down at once.
Certainly. I'll get a ladder.
What?
I'll need a ladder. It shouldn't take long.
What shouldn't take you long?
Jimmy, do as I say. Go upstairs and tell Mrs. Sullivan that if she is
She's
not
locked
down
in her room.
What on earth are you talking
in
about?
her room.
Helen locked her in her room and took off with the key.
And you sit here and say nothing.
Well, everyone's been telling me not to say anything, so...
Viney, look out in the back. See if Helen has that key.
She's out by the pump. Miss Sullivan, are you in there?
Oh, I'm in here all right.
And there's no key on your side.
Well, if there were a key on my side, I wouldn't be in here. Helen took it and ran off with it somewhere. The only thing on my side is me.
Miss Sullivan, I do not know how you managed it. Not in the house, 10 minutes.
And even I'm not on my side.
Viney,
Yes, Captain?
put the meat back in the oven.
She doesn't have the key.
Well, she must have the key. Have you searched in her pockets?
Yes, she doesn't have it.
Katie, she must have the key.
Would you prefer to search her yourself, Captain?
No, I would not prefer to search her myself. She nearly tore my kneecap off this evening. When I tried, put that ladder back.
Certainly.
She could have hidden the key.
Where?
Anywhere. Under a stone, in the flower
No,
beds.
we're not plowing up the entire grounds just to find a missing key. Jimmy,
Sir.
bring me a ladder.
Certainly.
What is Mildred doing now?
Captain woke her man. All of that hollering.
Miss Sullivan, come out.
Oh, I don't see how I can. There isn't enough
I
room.
intend to carry you. Just climb onto my shoulder and hold tight.
That's very chivalrous of you, but I'm perfectly able of
Please
going down.
follow instructions. I will not have you also tumbling out of our windows. I hope this is not a sample of what we should expect from you in the way of simplifying our work of looking after Ellen.
I'm perfectly able of going down a ladder under
Well, I
light.
doubt it. Just hold on to my neck. My neck!
I'm sorry to inconvenience you when
No
you're wet.
inconvenience other than having that lock replaced and the door taken down if you fail to find that key. There.
Thank you very much.
Put all of that. Go back to work. There's nothing to look at here. Now, shall we have supper? Like other people.
Finding use of supper. I'll put Mildred to sleep.
Might as well leave the L-A-D-D-E-R.
You devil! You think I'm so easily gotten rid of? Well, you have a thing or two to learn first. I have nothing else to do. And nowhere to go. And nobody here has attempted to control her. The greatest problem I have is how to discipline her without breaking her spirit. But I shall insist on reasonable obedience. Ink. I-N-K. Ink. Ink. I-N-K. Down, under, up. And be careful of the needle. Good. Keep out of the ink and out of the soup. These blots are her handiwork. All right, let's try temperance. Bad girl. Good girl. Very good girl.
What are you saying?
Oh, I was just making conversation saying that it's a dog.
But does that mean that to her?
She won't know what a word is until she understands what spelling is.
And yet you keep spelling to her. Why?
I'd like to hear myself talk.
The captain says it's like spelling a fence post.
Does he now?
Is it?
No, it's how I watch you talk to Mildred.
Mildred.
Anything. Grown up gibberish, baby talk gibberish. Do they understand one word of it to start? Somehow they begin to. If they hear it, I'm letting Helen hear it.
Other children are not impaired.
There's nothing impaired inside that head. It works like a mousetrap.
But after a while, a child hears how many words with Sammy? 1 million?
Well, I guess no mother's ever minded enough to count.
What did she say?
I said, darling. She said, cake. No. It doesn't have any meaning. It's just a finger cake.
I should like to learn those letters, Miss Annie.
I can teach you first thing tomorrow morning. That's only 500,000 each.
It's her bedtime.
Why does she get a reward for hitting me?
Well, we catch our flies with honey, I'm afraid. We haven't had the heart for much else, and so many times she cannot be compelled.
Yes, I'm the same way myself. The more I think, the more I know that obedience is the gateway through which knowledge enters the mind of the child.
Breakfast is ready. No, but shouldn't we give the devil his due, Father? The fact is, we lost the South 2 years earlier when he outbrought us behind Vicksburg.
Peculiar word for a butcher.
A harness maker, wasn't he?
I said butcher. His only virtue as a soldier was his numbers. He led them to slaughter, with no more regard than for so many sheep.
True, but even if in that sense he was a butcher,
And that drunken one half the war.
agreed, Father. If his own people say he was, I can't
So
argue.
what is it you find to admire in such a man, Jimmy? The butchering or the drunkenness?
Neither. Only the fact that he beat us.
He didn't beat us.
Is it your contention that we won the war, sir?
No, he didn't beat us at Vicksburg. We lost Vicksburg because Pemberton gave Bragg 5,000 of his cavalry. And Loring, whom I knew personally for an nincompoop before you were born, he marched away from Champions Hill with enough men to have held them. We lost Vicksburg by stupidity, verging on treason.
I would have said we lost Vicksburg because Grant was one thing no Yankee general was before him.
Drunk? I doubt it.
Obstinate.
Obstinate. Could any of them compare even at that with old Stonewall? If he'd been there, we'd still have Vicksburg.
Well, the butcher simply wouldn't give up. He tried 4 ways of getting around Vicksburg, and on the 5th try he got around.
Well, he would not have gotten around if he'd had a Southerner in charge. Instead of a half-breed Yankee trader like Pemberton, what's the matter there?
Miss Annie, you see, she's accustomed to helping herself.
Yes, but I'm not accustomed to it.
No, of course not. Viney!
Give her something, Jimmy, to quiet her.
But her table manners are the best she had.
Let her this time, Miss Sullivan. It's the only way we get any adult conversation around here. If my son's half merits that description, I'll get you another plate.
Oh, I have a plate, thank you.
Viney!
I'm afraid what Captain Keller says is only too true. She'll persist in this until she gets her own way.
Viney, bring Miss Sullivan another plate.
I have a plate. Nothing's wrong with my plate, and I intend to keep it.
You see why they took Vicksburg.
Miss Sullivan, one plate or another is hardly a matter to struggle with a deprived child about.
I'd sooner have a more heroic issue myself.
Insist that... Oh, look, now she's hurt herself.
No, she hasn't.
Sandy, please. You don't know the child well enough yet.
Oh, I know an ordinary tantrum when I see one, and a badly spoiled child.
Here. Miss Sullivan, you would have more understanding of your pupil if you had some pity in you. Kindly do as I say.
For this tyrant? The whole house turns on her whims. Is there anything she wants she doesn't get? I'll tell you what I pity. That the sun will rise and set for her all her life, and you're telling her it will. What good will your pity do her when you're under the strawberries, Captain Keller?
For the love of heaven.
Sandy, please. I don't think it's
Oh, it does you good, that's all. It's less trouble to feel sorry for her than to teach her anything better, isn't it?
Well, I fail to see where you've taught her anything yet, Miss Sullivan.
Well, I'll begin this minute if you'll leave the room, Captain Keller.
Leave?
Everyone, please.
Miss Sullivan, you're here as a paid teacher. Nothing more, not to lecture.
I can't unteach her 6 years of pity if you can't stand up to one tantrum. Old Stonewall indeed. Mrs. Keller, you promised me help.
Indeed I did. And I truly
Then leave me alone with her now.
Katie, will you come outside with me at once, please?
I have the plate.
Out, please.
If it takes all summer, Gemma.
This girl, this cub of a girl, she presumes. I tell you, I am of half a mind to send her back on the next train before the week is out. You can inform her so from me.
I, Captain?
Yes, she is a hireling, nothing more. I want it clear, unless there is an apology and a complete change of manner, she is back on the next train. Will you make that quite clear?
And where will you be, Captain, while I
At
make
the
it?
office.
Williams, I thought what you said was exceptionally intelligent. I've been saying it for years.
To his face? Or will you take it, Jenny, as a flag?
am I going to do, Miss Kate? It's noontime, dinner's coming, and I haven't even gotten breakfast dishes out of it yet. Run along now, children.
I can't stand out here a minute longer, Kate. Why this could go on all afternoon, too?
Tell the captain that you called. Did you hear what Miss Kate said? Go along, tend your business. Shoo!
Say what you like, Kate, but that child is a Keller. I need to remind you that all Kellers are cousins of General Robert E. Lee. I don't know who that girl is. The only Sullivan I've heard is from Boston, too, and I think twice before locking her up with that kind, is that man, John L.
You give me her, Miss Kate. I'll speak her out in the back. For credit. This child's never given me a moment's worry. I know, this one's the angel of the family. No question about that. She ate from her own plate. She ate with a fork, herself, and she folded her napkin. Folded her napkin? The room's a wrapper, but her napkin is folded. Opening my room is cold. Don't be long, Miss Annie. Dinner will be ready right away. Folded her napkin.
This soul, this blind, deaf, mute woman, can nothing be done to disinter this human soul? The whole neighborhood would rush to save this woman if she were buried alive by the caving in of a pit and labeled with glue until she were dug out. Now if one had as much patience as zeal, he might awaken her to a consciousness of her immortal... Annie? Annie, there?
Hush, Jimmy.
Annie, what's that noise?
Just a cot.
Where are they pushing it?
To the dead house.
Annie, does it hurt to be dead?
There are schools. There are schools outside. Schools where they teach blind ones, worse and new, to read and write. There are schools outside where there is schools.
You ain't going to school, are you, Annie?
I'm going to school when I grow up.
You ain't either, Annie. You're going to stay here and take care of me.
I'm going to school when I grow up.
You said we'll be together. Forever and ever and ever.
I'm going to school when I grow up.
Little girl, I must tell you. Your brother Will is going on a journey soon. Annie!
Bye, Annie.
Right here when you learn how.
Don't tell anyone you came from here. Don't tell anyone. Yeah, don't tell anyone you came from. Yeah, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone.
Annie, it hurts to be dead. Forever. Might awaken her to a consciousness of her immortal future. The chance is small indeed, but so is the chance they would have dug desperately for her in the pit. And is the life of the soul of less importance than that of the body?
Oh no, Katie, I will not have it. Now you did not see, after supper tonight when she went to go look for Helen in her room,
No.
well, the child practically climbed out of her window to escape from her. What kind of teacher is she? You know, I thought I'd seen her at her worst. This morning shouting at me, but then I come home to find the entire house disorganized by her. And Helen won't stay in the same room 1 second with her. Won't let herself be bathed or undressed or put to bed by her or even by Viney now. The end result is that you have to do more for the child than before we hired this girl's services. From the moment she stepped off that train, she has been nothing but a burden. Incompetent, impertinent, ineffectual, immodest, and
Helen
complete.
folded her napkin.
But
Not ineffectual.
She did fold her napkin.
Well, what is so extraordinary about folding a napkin?
Well, it's more than you did, Captain.
Katie, I did not bring you all the way out here to the garden house to be frivolous. Now, how does Miss Sullivan propose to teach a deafblind pupil who will not let her even touch her?
I don't know.
The fact is she scuttled any chance she ever had of getting along with that child tonight. And if you can see any point or purpose to her staying, it is no more than
What do you wish me to do?
I want you to give her notice.
I can't.
Well, then I must. Miss Sullivan.
Captain Keller, Ronnie told me I found your book over here by the garden house. I thought we should have a talk.
Yes, well, come in. Katie.
Captain?
Well, I wanted first to make my position clear to Mrs. Keller in private. But I am not satisfied. In fact, I am deeply dissatisfied with the manner in which you choose to...
Is this little house ever in use?
In the hunting season. Will you give me your attention, please? I have tried to make allowances for you because you come from a part of the country where people, well, women, I should say, they come from whom allowances must be made. Nevertheless, I have decided I find it very difficult to talk through those glasses, Miss Sullivan.
Oh, of course.
And why do you wear them? The sun has been down for an hour.
Any kind of light hurts my eyes.
Put them back on. I have decided to give you one more chance.
To do what?
To remain in our employ. But on two conditions. I am not accustomed to rudeness in our servants or women, and that is the first. If you are to stay with us, there must be a complete change of manner.
Oh, whose?
Yours! Isn't it obvious? And the second, you must persuade me that there is the slightest hope of you teaching a pupil who flees from you now, like the plague, to anyone else you can find in the house.
There isn't. I can't teach a child who runs away.
Well, then do I understand that you...
Well, if we both agree it's hopeless, the next question...
I am not agreed. I think you underestimate Helen.
I think everyone else here does.
She learns. She learns. Do you know she began talking at 6 months old? She could say water. Not really. She could say wawa. Wawa. But she meant water. She knew what it meant at only 6 months old. I'd never seen a child so bright or outgoing. It's in her still, isn't it? You should have seen her before her illness. Such a good-tempered child.
She's changed.
Put up with it, Miss Annie. With us.
Us?
The lost lamb in the parable. I love her all the more.
Mrs. Keller, I don't think Helen's worst handicap is her deafness and blindness. I think it's her love and pity.
Now, what does that mean?
All of you. You feel so sorry for her. You've kept her like a pet, like even a dog you housebreak. No wonder she won't let me go near her. It's useless for me to teach her anything else here. I might as well just
putting her in an asylum.
What kind of asylum?
For mental defectives.
I visited them. I can't tell you what I saw. People like animals, with rats in the halls. If you give up, what are we to do?
Give up?
You said it was hopeless.
Here? Give up? I only today saw what has to be done to begin. I want complete control of her.
You already have that. It has been
No, I mean day and night. She has to be dependent on me.
For what?
Everything. The food she eats, the clothes she wears, the fresh air. Yes, even the air she breathes. Everything her body needs is a primer to teach her out of. The one who lets her have it should be her teacher, not anyone who loves her. You have so many feelings, they fall over each other like feet, and you won't use your chances, and you won't use your chances, and you won't let me!
Miss Annie, if she runs from you to us...
Exactly. I'll have to live with her someplace else.
What?
So she can learn to depend on and listen to me.
For how long?
As long as it takes. I packed half my things already.
Miss Sullivan,
Captain Keller, it meets both of your conditions, and I don't see how I can be rude to you again if you're not around to interfere with me.
Yes, and what is your intention if I say no? Pack the other half for home. Abandon your charge to
the asylum? I grew up in such an asylum. The state almshouse. Rats. Oh, my brother Jimmy and I used to play with rats because we didn't have toys. Maybe you'd like to know what Helen will find there not on visiting days? One ward was full of the old women, crippled, blind, and most of them dying, and even if what they had was catching, there was nowhere else to move them, and that's where they put us. There were younger ones across the hall, prostitutes mostly, with TB and epileptic fits, and some of the kind who keep after other girls, and some just insane. The youngest were in another ward to have babies they didn't want. They started at 13, 14. They'd leave afterwards, but the babies stayed, and we played with them too. The first year we had 80. 70 died. The room where Jimmy and I stayed in was the dead house, where they kept the bodies until they could dig the graves. No. It made me stronger. But I don't think you need to send Helen there. She's strong enough. No, Captain, I have no conditions.
Miss Annie?
Yes.
Where would you take Helen?
Home. Italy?
What?
Can't have everything, I suppose. How about this garden house? Furnish it, and you can bring Helen here after a long ride so she doesn't know where she is, and you can see her every day. She doesn't know. Well, is that all? That's all.
Captain? Your permission?
Why must she depend on you for the food that she eats?
I want control of it.
Why?
It's a way to reach her.
So you intend to starve her into letting you touch her?
She won't starve. All is fair in love and war, Captain Keller. You never cut supplies.
This is hardly a war.
Well, it's not love. A siege is a siege.
Do you like the child?
Do you?
You could have a servant stay here.
I'll have enough to do without looking after a servant, but boy, Percy could sleep here and run
Percy
errands.
could stay here, Captain.
We could have furniture all of our own.
How about that old walnut bedstead in the barn?
No, I have not yet consented to Percy or to the proposal. Or do you stay? Fine, I consent to everything. But for 2 weeks. I'll give you 2 weeks. It'll be a miracle if you can get that child to tolerate you.
2 weeks? Sandy, can you accomplish anything?
Well, anything or not. What'll it be, Miss Sullivan, yes or no? 2 weeks, then the child comes back to us.
2 weeks? For only one miracle? Or get the child to tolerate it?
Can't think of little as love, as you said. You wouldn't stay.
I didn't come for love. Came for money. A. First of many. 26. wanted to live in a doll's house.
You don't get rid of things easily, do you? How are you going to win her head now, in this place?
Do I know? I lost my temper and here we are.
No touching, no teaching. Of course, you are bigger.
I'm not counting on force, I'm counting on her. That little imp is dying to know.
Know what?
Everything and anything in God's creation. I'll have to use that appetite.
Maybe she'll teach you.
Of course.
That she isn't. That there's such a thing as dullness of heart, acceptance and letting go. Sooner or later, we all give up, don't we?
Maybe you all do, but that's my idea of the original sin.
What?
Giving up.
You won't open her. Why can't you let her be? Have some pity on her for being what she is.
If I'd ever once thought like that, I'd be dead.
You will be. Why trouble? Or will you teach me?
Does she know where she is? We rode her in the country for 2 hours.
Yes, for all she knows, she could be in another town.
That's her sign for me. I know. In 2 weeks.
Sandy. Please be good to her these 2 weeks. Be very good to her.
I will. Now.
I do not understand it. I had every intention of dismissing that girl, not setting her up like an empress.
Yes, what's her secret, sir?
Secret?
That enables her to get everything she wants out of you, when I can't.
She does not get anything that she... Don't! Don't!
Captain!
Well, he's afraid. What do you want from me?
My God, don't you know? Everything you forgot when you forgot about my mother!
What? Well, I tell you one thing her secret isn't. She doesn't fire one shot and then disappear. Don't mind.
Captain, I'm proud of you.
For what?
Giving this girl a chance at what she needs.
Well, then why can't my son be? You think I treat him as hard as that girl treats Helen?
Perhaps you do.
Well, he needs to learn some respect.
Do you like the child? How do the houses tonight?
Annie, no. No, Kitty, I won't have it. I will touch you. How? Percy!
Huh?
Percy, you awake?
No, ma'am.
How would you like to play a game? With Helen. She's under the bed. Touch her hand. Touch her hand.
Let me go. She's trying to talk. She's gonna hit me.
She can talk, if only she knew how. She knows lots of letters. Here. A. She's mad at me now, though, so she won't play. She knows so many letters, like C. A. C. C. A. K-E. Oh, she spells cake. She gets cake. Isn't that funny? She makes the letters, but she doesn't know that she knows. How would you like to learn one that she doesn't know?
No, ma'am.
Milk. M, just like that. I, that's easy, just a little thing. No! Why should I play with you when I'm teaching Percy a new word? L, K, M, I. Oh, you're jealous, are you? All right. M, I, L, K. M, I, L, K. Good. So I'm finally back to where I can touch you. No love lost, just touch and go. Oh, you can go back to bed, Percy. Thank you. Now all I have to do is teach you one word. Everything. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mom's gonna buy you a mockingbird. If that mockingbird don't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. If that diamond ring turns to brass, Mama's gonna buy you a looking glass. If that looking glass gets gold, Mama's gonna buy you a billy goat. If that billy goat won't pull, Mama's gonna buy you a card and bull. If that card and bull turns over, Mama's gonna buy you a dog named Rover. If that dog named Rover. Water. W-A-T-E-R. Water. Egg. E-G-G. Egg. Oh, it's so simple. Simple as birth to explain, Helen. Helen, the chick has to come out of the shell sometime. You come out too. The only way out for you is language. To learn that anything and everything has a name like mug. M-U-G, mug. It has a name. It has a name.
You have not eaten, Katie.
I haven't the appetite. I'm too restless. I can't sit to it.
Well, you should eat. It'll be a long wait here.
But it's been a short 2 weeks. I never thought life could be so noiseless. Much too quickly for me.
Card. C-A-R-D. Card. C-A...
Well, the house has been practically normal, hasn't it?
Jimmy.
Is it wrong to enjoy a quiet breakfast after 5 years?
Well, it could be even more noiseless without you running your tongue every minute, Jimmy. Haven't you enough feeling to imagine what Katie has been undergoing ever since...
Captain. It's true. 2 weeks have been normal and quiet. Everything you say. But not short.
Water. W-A-T-E-R. But it means this. W-A-T-E-R. W-A...
I only meant that Miss Sullivan is a boon. Of contention, though it seems.
Oh, if and when you have children, Jimmy, you'll understand what separation means. A mother loses a protector. We don't just keep our children safe, Jimmy, they keep us safe. There are, of course, all kinds of separation. Katie has lived with one for 5 years now. The other is disappointment. A child.
Every day, I feel more and more inadequate.
Kate, I'm sorry. I opened my mouth and, like that fairy tale, frogs jump out.
No. It has been better. For everyone.
If only there were someone to help me. I need a teacher as much as Helen.
Kate, what does he want from me?
That's not the question, Jimmy. Stand up to the world. That comes first.
But the world is him.
Yes. And no one can do it for you.
Kate, at least could you be my friend?
I am.
My mind is undisciplined, full of skips and jumps and disinterred, disjoined, disinterred, where's discipline? Wouldn't a dictionary know how to spell it before you can look up how to spell it? Disciple, discipline, undisciplined.
What are you doing to your eyes?
Well, it's worse on my vanity. I'm learning to spell. It's like a surprise party. The most unexpected characters turn up.
You're not to overwork your eyes, Miss Anne.
Well, whether I spell Helen, I better spell right.
How serene she is.
She learned that stitch yesterday. Now I can't get her to stop. Such a little lady. She'd rather starve than eat with her fingers.
You've taught her so much these 2 weeks.
Not enough. Obedience isn't enough. Well, she learned 2 new nouns this morning. Key and water. Brings her up to 18 nouns and 3 verbs.
But not.
No. Still only a finger game to her. Mrs. Keller, shall we play our finger game?
How will she learn?
It will come. How? How does a bird learn to fly? We're born with birds like wings. It has to come.
How?
All right, I don't know how. I've done everything I could think of here. We knit and string beads. We set up exercises and meals each morning. We climb trees and hunt eggs. Yesterday, a chick was born in her hands. All of it I spell. We never stopped spelling. I go to bed with writer's cramp from talking so much.
I worry about you, Miss Annie. You must rest.
Now, she spells back in her sleep. Those 5 fingers ache to speak out. Something in her mind is asleep. How do I nudge that awake? That's the one question.
With no answer.
Except keep at it. Like this.
More time. Here.
Spell it.
Because I can't.
Spell it. If she ever learns, you'll have a lot to say to each other. Start now.
On my way to the office, and I brought Helen a little playmate. Come.
Outside, Miss Captain Keller.
Now the 2 weeks are up. Surely you do not...
They're not up until 6 o'clock.
Surely 1 fraction of a day is not going to make any difference.
An agreement is an agreement. Now, you've been very good. I'm sure you can keep it up for a few more hours.
Miss Sullivan, you're a tyrant.
Likewise, I'm sure. Now, if she comes to the door, you can stand there.
Miss Annie, I don't think you know how eager we are to have her back in our arms.
I do know. It's my main worry.
Well, it's like expecting a new child in the house. Look at her. She's so composed and attractive. You've done wonders for that child.
Have I?
Yes, if there's anything we can give you in repayment.
I just told Mrs. Keller. I want more time.
Miss Annie, I never...
Half a week.
We miss the child, Miss Sullivan. I miss her. That's a different debt that I owe to you.
Pay it to Helen. Give her another week.
Doesn't she miss us?
Of course she does. In what an unexplainable wrench this exile must be to her. Can you say it's not?
No, but I really must.
Doesn't she need affection too, Miss Annie?
Well, she never shows me she does. She won't
Because you're not her mother.
Yes, and what would another week accomplish? You've done more than we ever thought
I
possible.
can't promise her anything,
You've got
only-
things to do and constructive ways to behave. To even look like a human child. She's so contented and manageable, and clean.
Clean.
Well, we say cleanliness is next to godliness. Miss Sullivan.
Cleanliness is next to nothing. She has to learn that everything has a name, that words can be her eyes for everything inside her world and outside too. What is she without words? With words she can think and be reached. There's not a fact or idea in the world that can't be hers. You write a newspaper, Captain Keller. Do I have to tell you what words are? And she has them already. 18 nouns and 3 verbs. They're in her fingers. All I need time is just to push one of them into her mind, and everything under the sun will follow. Can't you see what she's learned is clearing the way for that? Just give me another week to
Miss
just...
Sullivan, look. What is she spelling?
Water?
Teaching a dog to spell. I don't think that dog knows what she means any more than she does, Miss Sullivan. I think you asked too much of her. And yourself. God may not have wanted her to have these eyes that you speak of.
I mean her too.
Well, what is it to you? You've shown us how we indulge her for our own sakes. Is it opposite true for you?
Half a week.
An agreement is an agreement.
Mrs. Keller, I want her back.
I'll send Viney over to help you pack.
Not until 6 o'clock. I have her until 6
6
o'clock.
o'clock. Come, Katie.
No, not water. Here, water. W-A-T-E-R. Dog. D-O-G. Yes, what's it to me? Bring back their dog and their child. Both is satisfied. Everyone's satisfied. Everyone's satisfied but me and you. Reach. Oh, I wanted to tell you everything. Everything the earth is full of. Everything that's ours for a wink and then it's gone. The knowledge we bring to it and the light, like you can see 1,000 years back in the world of light. And I know, if I can put one word in your hands, I can show you the world. How do I tell you that this is wool, W-O-O-L, or this stool, S-T-O-O-L, or dress, D-R-E-S-S, or face, F-A-C-E, face. M-O-T-H-E-R. M-O-T-H-E. Let her come.
You said we'd be together forever. You promised. Forever. Annie! That battle is dead and done with. Why not let us be buried?
I thank God for some here resurrection.
What?
Why, of God, no.
Forever and ever. Forever and ever and forever and ever and ever.
Miss Annie,
Yes.
I've come to bring you this.
What?
It's your first month's salary, with many more to come, I trust.
What have I done to deserve this?
Taken a wild thing, given us back a child.
I taught her one thing. No, don't do this, don't do that.
So it's more than all of
I
us.
wanted to teach her with languages. I wanted to teach her yes.
You'll have time.
I don't know how. I know but to do nothing but obey is no gift. Obedience without understanding is a blindness too. Is that all I've wished on her?
No, no.
Maybe. Now I just simply have to have faith that inside she's waiting like water underground. All I can do now is keep on.
It's enough for us.
You can help, Captain Tucker.
How?
Learning no has been at much of a cost of pain and trouble. Don't undo it.
Why should we wish?
The world isn't an easy place for anyone. Don't let her just obey. I can't, I don't even love her. She's not my child. You have to stand in between that lie and her.
We'll try.
Because I will. As long as you let me stay, that is one promise I'll keep.
Agreed. And we have learned something too, I hope. Will you come to supper now?
Praise God by his death each month.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing, I just used to wonder how we could earn a living.
Oh, well, you do.
Yes, I do now. The one question is, can I survive it?
May I?
We're glad to have you back. Probably.
Yes, I'll keep the keys. We've had enough of the locked doors.
Evening, General.
Will you say grace to me?
Sir. And Jacob was left alone, and wrestled with an angel until the breaking of the day. and the hollow of Jacob's thigh child joint as he wrestled. And the angel said, "Let me go, for the day breaketh." And Jacob said, "I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. Amen." Oh, you angel.
That was a very strange grace, James.
You start the muffins, Ev?
It's from the good book.
Of course it is. Did you know?
Yes, I do.
Miss Annie.
Yes. And why ask?
I meant that it is from the good book, and therefore fitting.
Well, I don't know about that.
Miss Annie, thank you.
There are an awful lot of things from the good book that I would care to hear just before eating.
Well, fitting in the sense that Jacob's thigh was out of jointed, so as
I
this
declare,
figures-
James.
Pickles on food.
I should say so. You know my opinion of your pickles.
I didn't put up nearly enough this year. Next summer,
The Reverend looked in at the office today to complain that his pens have stopped laying. He was out of joint. All he could.
I've always suspected those heads.
Of what?
I think they're papist. Has he tried?
James, now you're pulling my lower extremity. The first thing you know will be.
Miss Annie, no. It's a very special day.
Oh, it will be when I get into that.
Please, I've hardly had a chance to welcome her home.
Captain Keller.
Well, Miss Annie and I, we had a little talk, and she feels that if we indulge...
Oh, what's the child done?
Oh, she's learned not to kick and throw things on the floor. It took us the best part of 2 weeks.
And it's not as if we're breakable.
And everything she's learned is... Mrs. Keller, I don't think we should be playing tug of war over her. Either you stop her from kicking or let me have her.
What do you wish to do?
Let me take her from the table.
Let the child stay. My goodness, she doesn't have to wear a napkin.
Oh, and ask outsiders not to interfere.
Outside. I am the child's aunt!
Sammy, please. I've made all of Helen's favorite foods.
It's a homecoming party, Miss Annie.
She's testing you, you realize.
She's testing you.
Jimmy, be quiet. Now she is home. Naturally, she...
And wants to see what will happen at your hand. I said this was my main worry not half an hour ago.
Well, she isn't kicking now.
And she's not learning not to. Mrs. Keller, teaching her is bound to be painful, but she'll live up to what you demand of her and no more.
She's testing you.
Jimmy.
I have an opinion. I think I
No
should...
one's interested in your opinion.
I am. Of course she's testing me. Let me keep her to what she's learned and she'll keep on learning. Take her from me now and everything falls apart. Be bountiful. It's at her expense. Please pass me more of her favorite foods.
Take her, Miss Annie.
Thank you.
No, I'm afraid you are the difficulty, Miss Annie. Now, I will keep her to what she's learned. You're quite right there. There's no sense in taking her from the table. After all, she is the guest of honor. Now, bring her her plate.
Oh, if she was a seeing child, none of you would tolerate
Oh, she's
what?
not! I think some compromise is called for. Bring her her plate back, please. There. See, we all take aversion to our teachers. And occasionally an extra hand can smooth things out. Now shall we start all over?
I think we've started all over.
Don't stand up!
Where are you going?
Don't interfere! Don't do anything else after me! I treat her like a seeing child because I expect her to see. I ask her to see. Don't undo what I do!
Well, where are you taking
To
her?
make her refill the pitcher! You let her speak to you like that, Arthur? A creature
What?
I said, let her go. She's right. She's right, I'm right, Kate's right, and you're wrong. If you're gonna drive her away from here, it'll be over my dead chair. Now, has it ever occurred to you that on one occasion you might be constantly wrong?
Captain.
Sit down. Sit. Please, James. Sit down.
All right. Come. No, she's not here. Come. Water. W-A-T-E-R. Water. W-A-T-E-R. Teacher. Teacher. Teacher? I love Helen forever and ever and ever.
Jeanette. Terry's here. Let me take a picture with you and Terry.
Oh my God.
Here's the puppy.
Oh my God. Do you remember her? Eva?
And they give lines to the designers. You're doing like backgrounds or extras.
See if anybody's still in the control room.
Any new projects?
Yes, right now I'm still there.
Oh my God.
Another successful show, Mr. Barsky.
Another one.
Thank you very much.
It's all because of them.
Beautiful job, though, sir. Thank you.